Okay, so this expository text is talking about how nature is thriving in an age of extinction. California enjoys a Mediterranean-style climate with cool and relatively moist winters and dry, hot summers. So this is background info. So it is not surprising that European yellow star thistle and its relative sulfur star thistle, so I'm going to use different colors because the name is so similar, established wild populations there. The yellow star thistle has become so successful. All right. I should have used yellow for yellow, huh? Doesn't matter. Has become so successful that it is regarded as a noxious weed. Despite the fact that its spiky golden yellow flowers supply nectar to butterflies and bees and mainly grows on disturbed ground where native wildflowers are rare. In any event, there is no getting rid of it now. All right, so yellow, so successful. Long established in California, there have been plenty of generations available for the two plants to evolve in isolation. So we have to know that the background knowledge here is that when species evolve in isolation, they're going to become more and more different. So they have the same common ancestor, which is Spanish ancestors. The sulfur star thistle, introduced to California around 1923, allowing the Spanish and Californian populations to develop in isolation for 86 generations. But our strong transition, could they actually have become that different after such a short period of time? No one would have expected. So they probably did, but this is surprising. How can species evolve so fast, right? So the researchers, Daniel and Ray, they were also surprised. And ecologists and evolutionary biologists have been brought up on the knowledge. So do you see the quote unquote knowledge? Why is there quotation? Meaning that this is actually their misconception. So they're wrong in this case. They thought it would take a long time for new species to form. In fact, they weren't thinking about it at all. The main goal, so this is very similar to a lot of expository text, their finding is actually incidental, secondary. Their original goal of experiment, so initial objective, was to obtain pure seeds to use in the rest of their research. However, just to amuse himself, so for fun, he transferred pollen just to see what happened. So, fun experiment on the side. And he found something surprising. California's sulfur star thistle produces 44% fewer seeds per flower when they were fertilized using Spanish pollen than when they were supplied with California pollen. What does that mean? It means they are on the verge of becoming different species. Over the period since the plants were introduced, the compatibility of Spanish and California sulfur has declined. Compatibility declined. Isolation is even greater at around 52%. However, this is over a large number of generations. The yellow star thistle was first found growing in California in 1824, but its journey was indirect one via Chile. So the chances are that Spanish and Californian yellow star thistle last interbred 350 or so generations ago. Nonetheless, this is exceptionally fast. So you have to remember that time is relative, right? When it comes to evolution or geology, 350 generations or millions of years, that is a very short time. So this sentence, exceptionally fast, is giving us, the relativity of the time scale. The Californian and Spanish seem to be losing ability. So seem to be, not 100% certainty, to mate with one another. They are on the path towards becoming separate species. Because closely related species can sometimes mate with one another and produce hybrid offspring, so it is possible, like lions and tigers become ligers, the benchmark for Californian plants to be regarded as different species is not a full 100% reduction. Knowing this, so they have previous knowledge, this is known information because there's hybrid. These colleagues decided to find out what the fertility might be when you cross different wild star thistle species with one another. And then you can see this is the research context, the step-by-step action. What you are looking for is the answer. So what happens when they breed the different species? Answer was 65 to 88% reduction. And what does this mean? Suggests that Californian plants at 44% and 52% reduction, they are probably not yet fully fledged species. So they're still the same species, not completely different. But, strong transition again, are well on the way towards it. A mere 86 to 350 years after they separated. If they continue to diverge, then they might well be quite distinct human-created species within a few more centuries. So again, do you see how when I'm skimming, I skim the step-by-step process, right? And I go for the finding, the answer was, and what does that answer mean? Suggests that, implies that, means that. That is the important key. Okay, but I think this passage is quite straightforward, and that is it.